Welcome back to the Seattle Bird Podcast. This is week 3 of a 5-part interview series on crows with Dr. Loma Pendergraft, an instructor at the University of Washington. These episodes aired first on Space 101.1 FM, which is also where you can get the next episode on Wednesday and Saturday at noon. This week, we're focusing on crow range. So, does feeding a crow make them follow you until you feed them again?
Usually, it might take you one or two instances of feeding them, but they'll catch on pretty quick. And once they realize that you are a food provider, then yeah, they will start following you around. They won't follow you forever. They do have territories, but they will typically follow you to the borders of their territory, maybe even a little bit further until their neighbors kick them out.
Wait, so how big is a typical crow's territory in Seattle?
It depends. I would say typical crow territory is roughly maybe half of a neighborhood block. That measurement is kind of a oblong and rectangular, so it's a bit more circular, but I usually like to say that a crow's territory is as big as they can get away with, but as small as it needs to be. So if they've got lots of food, it doesn't have to be that big, but if they can expand it and they don't get any pushback from their neighbors, then yeah, they will do that.
You said crows have a migration out of them. Are crows around here migratory?
No, actually. Most of the crows here in Seattle will stay in Seattle year-round. In fact, Seattle's a great destination point for a lot of crows. North of here, it gets pretty cold and terrible, so the crows there will just come to Seattle and they'll winter here in Seattle.
Does that make Seattle like a really good place for crow research? Just because you mentioned like a lot of crow research going on at UW.
Yeah, that's a big reason. One is just institutional inertia. People here make a name for themselves doing crow research that attracts other people who want to work with them and do crow research. So, there's that. But also, Seattle just has a lot of crows. Relative to most other places, there are an unusually large number of birds, a large number of crows here in Seattle.
Do you know what their native range is before humans drastically altered the environment?
Well, their native range is pretty much everywhere. Corvids, you can find them worldwide. Ravens, common ravens are found all over the world. Various crow species can be found all over the world. So, because of their intelligence and because they are fairly hardy and they're generalists, they can eat just about anything, you can find them all over the place. They do appear to be human commensal. So, you might have heard the phrase like, symbiosis, and then commensal just means that they're really good at taking advantage of another species, in this case humans, without bothering or helping that other species. So, mutualism is where both species help each other, and then parasitism is where one species benefits and the other species is harmed. Crows, they benefit from us. We do and don't benefit from them, or are not really affected by them, so hence the term commensalism. They're great at taking advantage of our environment, but they don't need us. They can still survive just fine in areas where humans aren't around, albeit not as successfully as whenever humans are present.